O positive is the most common blood type on the planet, and roughly 4 out of every 10 people carry it. What makes it stand out is not just how common it is, but how useful it becomes in a crisis. Doctors can give O positive blood to any patient who is Rh positive, no matter whether they are A, B, AB, or O, which means in emergencies it becomes the go-to option for stabilizing the majority of patients quickly. Blood banks rely heavily on O-positive donors because hospitals go through it faster than almost any other type. There is also a deeper story behind why this blood type became so widespread. The absence of A and B antigens on O-positive cells actually made it harder for the malaria parasite to cause red blood cells to clump together, which gave early O carriers a survival edge in malaria-heavy regions. Many researchers also believe this type thrived in hunter-gatherer populations because their bodies were naturally suited to high-protein diets and constant exposure to wild pathogens. But O blood is not without its weak spots. The exposed H antigen on its cells acts like an open door for certain infections, which is why O-type individuals tend to suffer more severely from cholera and norovirus. O-types also carry lower levels of certain clotting factors, which protects them from dangerous blood clots but leaves them more prone to heavy bleeding when it does occur. A positive is the second most common blood type in the world, and about 3 out of every 10 people have it. A positive red blood cells carry the A antigen and the Rhd factor, which means people with this type can receive blood from both A and O positive donors, giving them a solid range of options during transfusions. Hospitals generally find A positive easy to manage because its high prevalence keeps blood bank reserves steady. What makes type A especially interesting from an evolutionary standpoint is its connection to agricultural history. As humans shifted from hunting and gathering to farming in dense communities, the A antigen appeared to offer stronger immune defenses against certain bacterial infections that spread easily in crowded settlements. This may be part of why A-type frequency climbed as civilization grew. The trade-off, though, is that the same antigen linked to those immune benefits also shows up in research on clotting disorders and cardiovascular risk, which is a reminder that every evolutionary advantage tends to come with a hidden cost somewhere. B positive is found in roughly 1 in 10 people worldwide, which makes it noticeably less common than O and A, but still a significant part of the global picture. People with B-positive blood have B antigens on their red blood cells along with the Rhd factor and can receive blood from B-positive, B-negative, O-positive, and O-negative donors. Because it is less common, blood banks have to work harder to keep B-positive supplies at safe levels compared to the top 2 types. The geographic spread of type B tells a fascinating story on its own. It appears in much higher concentrations across parts of Asia and the Middle East, pointing to ancient migration routes and the way certain populations evolved in isolation before eventually mixing with others. Research connects the B antigen to different infection susceptibilities, offering some protection against certain bacteria while creating openings for others. There is also growing evidence that B types may process carbohydrates and fats somewhat differently at a metabolic level. These details paint a picture of blood types as more than just medical categories. They are biological records of where human populations came from and how they survived. A B positive is the rarest of the major positive blood types, and less than 5% of people around the world carry it. Its red blood cells display both A and B antigens, along with the Rhd factor, which gives AB positive individuals a remarkable advantage in transfusion medicine. They can receive red cells from any donor, regardless of blood type or Rh factor, earning the title of universal recipient. Evolutionary research suggests AB is actually the youngest of all the major blood types, emerging only a few thousand years ago when populations carrying A and B antigens began mixing significantly. Its rarity makes it valuable to geneticists studying human diversity because it represents the blending of 2 separate antigen systems into a single type. The wide transfusion compatibility does come with trade-offs, though. AB individuals tend to show higher susceptibility to certain clotting and vascular conditions compared to O types. Still, there is something genuinely unusual about AB positive, combining scarcity with the broadest biological safety net in transfusion medicine.